Hello and welcome, one and all. This is MicktheOtr, and every one of you better be having a good day, or I'm sending an army of otters your way.
And that's a fact.
Oh yeah, and while you're here, go and pet those shinies for me like a real water mink would. Semi-aquatic carnivores aside, Arsenal of the Gods is back, and this time we're discussing a particularly famous fork, Poseidon's Trident. I'm sure this three-pronged spear doesn't need any introduction, but for the absolute noobs in here, I'll elaborate. As its name implies, this trident is the signature weapon of Poseidon, the Greek god of the seas, earthquakes, and horses even. Let alone his status as one of the biggest, baddest three of the Olympians. Presumably, his weapon has to be up to snuff, right? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Without further ado, let's carry on. One of the most significant powers associated with Poseidon's trident was its control over the sea and its creatures. Not just a little portion of it either, it's an all-in-one package with this bad boy. With this trident, you can swim like Phelps and talk to pufferfish like you're Aquaman, except it's not. Don't question my censoring. This is for your good, for I am a profane, non-marsupial avatar with a manly voice behind it. I just don't have the ability to edit myself on screen. Just like the Greek author Homer couldn't edit himself out of half of the attestable evidence behind this trident's magical powers. You got the Iliad, Odyssey, and the Homeric hymns, just to name a few. I'm seriously starting to think Homer just had a consistent hard-on for Poseidon.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
And his magic fork because he wouldn't shut up about how awesome he was at controlling the world's water like I control my water bill from going too high and creating a downpour in my roommate's bank accounts. Did I just say downpour because that sounds like storm missing one vowel, just like I'm missing one fuck to give about what you think of my analogies. They're boisterous and unruly, just like Poseidon swinging a stick right to make a typhoon and left to make a hurricane. Truly, his spear could do whatever it wanted in that regard. Tempests and gales and divine wrath galore, until a certain Apollodorus got bored and wrote up his own compendium of books called the Bibliotheca, not to be confused with the Bible. Oh my gods, don't make that mistake. In the not Bible Theca, in chapter 1 of book 3, it reads, And Poseidon, striking the trident on the soil of the Attic land, brought forth a horse. Which, speaking bluntly and ever truthfully as I do, that is f***ing awesome. This trident had fine steed built intrinsically into it, without the ever-looming dread of knowing your horse ends up like Arthur Morgan's because it's a magical horse, don't doubt me. Magical horse or not, it won't live without a clean drinking supply. The horses Poseidon makes with his trident, or Rule 34 content with Demeter, don't have salt-proof gills for some reason. But Mick, that's what seahorse... No, I don't choose to believe that, because then his trident couldn't create freshwater springs or create whole islands for the magical horses to live on. Yep, that's right, islands. Prime example of this ability was in the story of the Samothrace, where Poseidon's Noah's Ark most of the giants on the island and built a new one in its place because of the selfless generic hero of the story by the name of Dardanus. Poseidon was so impressed by Dardanus' bravery, gall, or whatever, that he waved his trident around and saved the remaining giants and renewed the island's subscription to life. Either way, if he wanted to go back when Dardanus wasn't looking and absolutely nuke Samothrace with earthquakes and tsunamis, well, he's definitely had enough practice on Japan and when he got sour because he lost the patron deity spot for the city of Athens to Athena. In fact, if you've rounded up a couple of giants, you could literally recreate the rumbling in 2012 at the same time. Now, that aside, we've gone over everything this weapon is stated to have in the myths. Waterbending, earthbending, stormbending, life creation, dominion over all aquatic life. All of that plus the traditional stabby an extra long fork could provide, and you get the Arsenal of the Gods rating of... Great tier. Alright, hear me out and put the torches and tridents away. Battlefield altering effects are common in divine weapons, 100% for sure. The extent that Poseidon's trident does it, though, is something of a different league than the norm. That's most of what this weapon does, save for making infinite equine pals. Imagination is the limit with this weapon, and you don't even have to be near a body of water to make use of it. The trident can literally create its own springs from scratch, or slam the trident down, create a massive earthquake, and boom, underground water resources at your disposal. All of that being said, however, this trident is rivaling countless other divine weapons of the same or higher caliber, all of which more or less have the ability to counter 85% of this weapon's ability. Battlefield altering effects. See, if you get another weapon of similar capability or greater that can do something like create winds, storms, or even just control the weather, this portion of the trident's power is suppressed. That includes water manipulation, because I would imagine it'd be as hard as a pillar with two blue stones attached to try and lob a spiky ball of water at somebody just to have them lob it back with the aforementioned winds and the like. Though that doesn't stop it from creating earthquakes or infinite magical horses, which is a tad harder to stop in my totally professional, unbiased opinion. With that aside, I want to shout out a couple of pieces of media this famed trident has been a part of before we go. Keep in mind, creative liberty has been taken in each of these depictions. The Little Mermaid, the good one. Hercules, the good one. Sea Daddy made a cameo in it. Aquaman. Would have been better if Jason Momoa used it against Amber Turd. Oh well. Smite, the game I've been playing this whole time. And yes, it isn't Percy Jackson. I felt the contempt from here. Don't you worry, how could I possibly forget? Hopefully they do justice with the Disney Plus show. Cautious optimism. Fingers crossed. That'll wrap up the episode of Arsenal of Gods. Thank each and every one of you for stopping by, and let me know what you thought of this analysis in the comments. Till next time, everybody. Peace.